Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for Resident Alien. It's the mid-season finale of Resident Alien Season 2, Episode 8, Alien Dinner Party. Welcome, everybody. Let me take care of some business first, and we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you don't want to be notified when I come on live, you can hit that bell down below there, and YouTube will give you a 50-50 chance of notifying you when I come on live. Best thing to do is go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I put up there. I change it out every week, and I'm mostly on time. I'm half an hour late here, and so there's just some stuff that I had to do. But I'm usually somewhat on time. I also have all the links to my social media there and all the links to my pages as well. Suspendedfanimation.com. All right. With that said, let's get down to it, shall we? Spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you've not seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video. You can comment down below in the comment section. All right. Give you enough time to go away and pause or whatever you're going to do. Okie dokie. Oh, we lost an arm. Or I should say, he lost an arm. So I'll put that back later. But yeah. So, of course, we had the surprise party that popped up in Harry's cabin. And just as the egg was getting ready to hatch, and this, of course, is all the mayor's ploy to get Harry to come back as the doctor now that, he's fired the retiree doctor who is just horrible. Um, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. Sorry, the dog just decided that she needed to investigate what that was that dropped on the floor. So I didn't want her to eat plastic. So I was moving her out of the way there. Um, so yeah, the egg has hatched. The Humalian, as Astra is calling it, is very voraciously hungry and is eating pretty much anything it can find. In the meantime, the kids who are being looked after by Nurse Ellen, Diana Bang, of course, and she's not doing a very good job of it. She's actually pretty horrible. As a matter of fact, when they go to sneak out and she wakes up, she tells them to be back before their parents get home, before his parents get home, I should say. So yeah, before Max's parents get home. And of course, they go out to the cabin. They see the alien, the Humalian, out in the trees, and it eats a raccoon right in front of them. Kind of just devours it pretty quickly, and just leaves all the bones, freaking them the fuck out. So Astra and her father are trying to keep everybody inside the cabin. Harry's trying to catch the alien. In the meantime, all of this, the pregnancy thing comes to a head as well with Kate, and she and Darcy are in the bathroom, in Harry's bathroom, peeing on a stick to see if she's pregnant, which she is. And then, of course, the whole drama about Ben trying to woo a resort into the town of patients instead of Jesper getting it. Kind of pisses some people off, including Darcy, who is under the impression that Ben wanted to just go rock climbing and take a couple of pictures for the website of the town. And then, of course, Sheriff Thompson has to come in and ruin everything and mention the kiss that Darcy did to Ben. And that blows things up even further at this point. Um, yeah. So hijinks ensue as they're trying to find the damn baby. And the baby, at one point, Harry does find it. It attached itself to his head, and we find out Goliath has left a message through the baby because that's what things do. And he imparts on them that their species is probably not coming to destroy Earth because Earth has already been invaded by another alien species, and humans are pretty much fucked. Yeah. And in the meantime, uh, General Wright is meeting with the guy who stole the little ball thing, and we find out these aliens shoot him. He goes falling over the bridge into the water. The general gets away, but we see these aliens that are actually there on Earth, and now this is the new big bad, if you will, in the middle of the second season. And what I'm predicting is going to happen, all of this is Harry's people are going to come. Um, there is going to be an outing among the town, or at least amongst the people that we all know that we're familiar with in Patience, all knowing that Harry is an alien at the end, and that Patience ends up being known for aliens, for UFO spotting, that kind of thing. And they embrace the weirdness of this. And that is what's going to drive tourism into Patience, ending that storyline, but then bringing it up to where all these people in town know that Harry is an alien and protecting him from outsiders coming in and trying to, of course, dissect him like the general, things of that nature. So I think that's where we're going with this. Because if I remember correctly in the comic, I think everyone in the town knew that he was an alien. If I remember correctly, it's been a while since I've read it. Like I said, when it first came out, I read the first, I want to say, two series, maybe three, but I can't remember offhand. So I read a lot since then. So that's what happens. So and then of course at the very end there, Harry is outside looking for the Humalian. And of course, when he finds it after he gets imparted the message by Goliath, he gets shot. And of course, he gets shot by somebody from uh, basically the guy that was his handler, or the human Harry's handler, who forced him to kill, Sam Hodges. And Asta actually kills that dude in front of Darcy. And Darcy sees Harry with the bullet hole in him, not dying. And now we know that Darcy needs to know about all of this as well, because otherwise she's going to freak the fuck out. Although we did see there was like a little brief, I guess, preview for what's going to happen when they come back during the summer. I believe it's in June is when they come back for the after the mid-season hiatus. And of course, Sheriff Thompson comes out because he heard gunshots, of course. So he's out there trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. And yeah, that's why I say I think everyone's going to get involved in all of this. Everyone's going to know that he's an alien at this point. They're going to be okay with it, and they're going to hide his identity from the rest of the world. And he's going to stay because he is now more alien or more human than he is alien. Oh, let's see what's going on here, Chad. What you doing? Are you trying to impart some kind of code, or was that just a misprint there? Oh, nothing at all. Okay. Well, that's all we got for you here. I It was a short, sweet episode. Like I said, there wasn't too much going on other than what was going on in the cabin there. I did like the Humalian uh, uh, word. That I like that. YouTube's been screwing with you. Yeah, it's screwing with everybody. Trust me. That's just the way of the YouTubes. Um, so yeah, I mean, like I said, it wasn't the greatest episode. How did I find this half of the season? There were some parts of it that were spinning its wheels, Jetty. I have to admit, there were some of it that were just kind of spinning its wheels. Uh, uh, I think with the addition of more episodes, that's what they need to do. And I've said this before about other series, is if you don't have enough content in order to fill all those episodes that you're given, then you end up doing filler episodes in order to fill those. Of course, that's why they're called filler episodes. And you end up getting this wheel spinning going on, and it shows as a wheel spinning. It really does. Jody, so what are your other predictions for the rest of the season? Like that second set of aliens, I'm guessing that was the sniper that took out the black. Yeah, that was the other aliens, uh, and I'm sure that's going to be the focus of. Harry's going to be tasked with either stopping them or hunting them down or something of that nature, and that's the reason why he's going to remain on Earth. So. Jody says this felt a bit like a bottle episode. I mean, the whole thing was practically, yeah, it's totally a bottle episode. This whole thing was the only CGI really was the Humalian and the flashback for for the deputy's flashback about the UFO, and even that was just, I mean, that was fairly low rent CGI. Sorry, Anillis, I know you're out there. But that was a I know that one was pretty. I could do that with Photoshop. So, yeah. Not well, but, I could do it. So and yes, this was totally a bottle episode. I mean, it was all, one stage. Everything was set in the cabin. Everyone was in the cabin. They're supposed to stay in the cabin. Yeah. Jody says, "Yeah, Dennis, honestly, the thing you said about the fillers makes sense. There were a few fillers that could have been removed, and they could have put Harry in New York. Yeah, they definitely put Harry in New York earlier. I mean, Girls' Night was. We didn't need Girls' Night. We didn't need the addition of his daughter, Harry's daughter, if you will. I'm trying to think of what else. There's at least another episode in there that we could have omitted and gotten rid of. And so what are we on episode 8? So that would have been 3 episodes. You would have gone down to 5 episodes at that point, and I'm sure there's going to be some filler episodes in the back 7 that we get coming up. There's 7 more episodes in the second half of the season, and that you figure at least 2 of those are going to be filler. So you got another 5. So there you go. You got 10 episodes. So if you could do 10 episodes rather than 14, you should be good. Yeah, or 15 episodes. Or that weird barbecue episode with the Prager's member of Asta's family. That one, yeah, I understood that one because they're trying to give Harry a reason not to kill everybody, and also for him to send out the message, and then also for Asta to distrust him enough to fail in that mission so that they would have to do something else. They'd have to go to New York for that. So I understood that episode, why they did it, and it was just really long. Yeah, it could have been folded into another episode, quite honestly. Yeah. So yeah, they could have cut 3 episodes out of this. Not I don't think 4. Jody says, but I thought Harry already turned a corner when he saved a kid who stowed away on his ship. Yes and no. Um, he brought the kid back because he could, I think, and he also didn't want to ride with the kid. The kid's annoying, and he also couldn't really kill the kid at that point. Well, he could have, and everything would have been fine. He could have just shoved him out the airlock, but yeah, he didn't. Jody says the mere fact that Harry wanted to share his bunker with Asta shows growth on. Yes, but she was the only one that he wanted to share the bunker with. No one else. So he didn't care about the rest of humanity. It was just Asta. And when Asta basically told him, "Hey, what about all the people I care about? Aren't you considering my feelings? If you're just saving me out of all humanity and I'm left by myself, what about me?" She says, and all the people I love. And that's kind of what got him thinking about the rest of humanity. So I understood where they were going with that. That's actually fine. So that was all part of Harry's growth there, where he was being very selfish and self-centered and not thinking about anything other than himself, which is in Harry's nature. So, yeah. But all in all, not a bad season. I've seen worse. It's not great either. Uh, Jody says true, but I mean, for Harry, that's a pretty big step. Well, true. Yeah. But for Harry to see everyone as being, a redemption of the entire species versus just one person out of that entire species, that's a bit different. Well, they still have the second half of the second season here, Jody. So this is a mid-season finale. We're gonna go into in June. We're getting the back seven of those. CBM says interesting because in a way, Harry is like a child. He has trouble empathizing past his person. Yes, I agree with you, CBM. So this is the thing that kind of gets me about how they've personified this version of Harry versus the comic. And so the comic actually, Harry is more integrated into the society and he acts human and he knows all the human customs and all this stuff. But he's been there for years at that point in in the comic, and having him. This is, I believe, like almost a prequel to the comic, the show, in a way of him learning how to become human and what it is to be human and why the human race needs to be saved and all of this. So I think that's where they were going with this. Yeah. No, he's not as quirky in the comic. It's a different vibe. It's really hard to describe. And again, like I said, I can't remember the comic completely, but I remembered it was really good enough where was, I so there's volumes of it. So the first volume is I think 3 or 4 issues, and the second volume is like 3 issues. The third I think was like 2 issues, things of that nature. And it was because of both the writer and the artist were both on different schedules, and it would be when their schedules synced up that they could work together and they would do it, and they would just get a story out like one big story, and then that would be one volume. And they actually just worked, I believe, on a volume 5 or 6 recently, if I'm not mistaken. And it's all through Dark Horse Comics, by the way. So if you wanna go out there and take a look at it, it's in Dark Horse Comics. Resident Alien's the same title. It's a good story. It's actually a really good story. So yeah, go for it. Yeah, it's definitely a fun read, Jody, and also it's short too. You can go through Dark Horse has its own press, and their press is actually really fucking cheap, believe it or not. You can get a lot of their books insanely cheap. Like where is it? You can't really well, you can't see it. My Venture Brothers book down here, the Go Team Venture book. I actually bought that at Comic Con for I want to say it was something insane like $30, $35. I think it's really not that expensive, and it's a hardbound book, glossy pages, all that stuff. It's a beautiful book, and yeah, it wasn't that much money. So I don't know if there's an omnibus out there, but there probably is. I wouldn't be surprised, considering that when this became a show and then it also became a popular show. I wouldn't put it past Dark Horse. Just go out there and take a look at Dark Horse Comics and take a look at their publishings. They actually just got recently bought out by a venture capital company. So we'll see what happens. The guy who was running Dark Horse is staying on to run Dark Horse under the new management. So yeah. Yeah, I want to say it was like $35 or something. It was something insanely cheap. I just remember that because I ended up buying a second one. There was only 2 copies left, or no, there's 3 copies, that's right. Because I bought one for myself, person I was with bought one for them, and then we bought a 3rd one for the podcast, is what it was, and that actually yeah, so that was when I was someplace else. Yeah. Yeah, Dark Horse is actually one of my favorite booths at Comic-Con, because 1, it's crowded, but it's not, like, packed full of people to the point where you can't move in there, and they always have fucking awesome stuff, and, like, they have high-end stuff, so, like, the Umbrella Academy, they have, it's called Astro Boy is what he's called, is, Lucas, the guy who, turned into a monkey, if you will. In the comic, he actually had his head, surgically implanted onto a gorilla's body, and so the maquette of that, they did a maquette which was like 300, $400. It's a beautiful maquette, I wanna buy it, but I don't wanna buy it for that price. Um, that's like a high-end thing, and then you can get, like, you know, a bottle opener, like a BPRD bottle opener for Hellboy and stuff like that. I have, a Hellboy, Zippo lighter someplace around here with Hellboy in a tuxedo smoking a cigar, which is kinda cool. Uh, so yeah, it is very much quality over quantity, and it's just it's a great booth. They always it's usually white walls because, Dark Horse, Comics, their logo is a knight, chess knight. And so they usually have white walls, black lettering, and then, red carpet, like bright red carpet. So it's always, they actually always, pad the shit out of that too, because at Comic-Con, you're always walking on cement, and walking on this, like, just compact cement hurts like a motherfucker at the end of the day. So if you walk into a booth where it's nice and cushy, you actually get some relief for your legs, your knees, your back, everything like that. And so some of the better booths, like Dark Horse, will have that. And you just walk in and you're like, "Can I help you?" "No, I'm just enjoying your cushy, rugs." Jody says, "Yeah, the comic umbrella is cool." I ended up diving into that one. Yeah, Umbrella Academy is great as well. I mean, and the show is different than the comic. I mean, they have taken some comic elements and put it into the show, and vice versa. But yeah, exactly. That's what it's all about when you're at cons and stuff like that. Is customer service. Who figured? You know, and to be fair, DC Comics does it as well. Their gigantic booth, they actually pad the shit out of that thing, so it's awesome to walk on. Marvel does the same. I think Lucasfilm does too when they're doing their stuff. So there are a lot of big booths there you can walk into, and you get that spongy feeling, which is great. But yeah, Dark Horse, definitely go check them out if you're interested in the source material of all of this. The source material is actually really good. I had the original comics, which I sold. I sold my batch of comics to a store because I just got tired of moving, all these long boxes all over the place. So yeah, that's the reason why I don't have comics anymore. I honestly, I can't carry around long boxes. It's just, and also storing them just doesn't make any sense to me. And anyway, their comics are supposed to be enjoyed anyway. There you go. Not to be hoarded over and raised in value. You wait till it appraises to get more money. Yeah. No, it's not worth it to me, Jody. It really isn't. So anyway, with that said, I'm gonna let you guys go for the rest of the night. Thank you to everybody joining me tonight in the chat, and thank you for made it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you want to watch and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you want to know when I'll be on live again next, go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I put up there. I change it out every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media there and all the links to my pages. And what's coming up for the rest of this week? Well, I'm off tomorrow. Sunday, I'll be back with the Sunday edition of Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the week, any genre stuff you guys want to talk about when we talk about it. Monday, I'll be off. Tuesday will be another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And it's going to be The Boys Diabolical. That is the animated series, the animated anthology series, The Boys Diabolical, which I've been threatening to do for a while now, but other stuff keeps popping up. And let's see, Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday, I think I'm going to do the DMZ, the second episode of DMZ. And I think Thursday, I'm going to do the third episode of the DMZ. And then I think next Friday, I'm going to do the fourth episode of the DMZ or DMZ and just get it out of the way that way. So, yeah, I think that's what we're going to do there. I think that all works out. Because then we're going to be rolling into, I was actually just doing the scheduling last night. And June is just going to be, it's going to kill me. There's going to be a couple of days where there's double headers with Obi-Wan and Miss Marvel. That's going to kill in June. Yeah. Moon Knight's coming up. There's lots of stuff that's coming up, but we'll see it. We'll see it as it comes along. All right. With that said, thank you, everybody. I will see you again on Sunday. Until then, stay safe, be well, take care. Actually, I should say, I'll see you again on Sunday, and don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may discover that the Humalian is actually just a message in a bottle, I guess, and is a MacGuffin at this point. I don't know. Anyway, thank you, everybody. Stay safe, be well, take care. Get those vaccine shots, get those boosters, get those flu shots as well, and stay safe out there, everyone. I'll see you again on Sunday. Until then, have a good rest of your night and have a good start to the weekend, everyone. Thanks. Have a good one.